Hi everybody, Marie Gervais here with Shift Management. Shift is your go-to company for building talent. If you want to build your leadership talent for your supervisors, or you want to build the talent for using your diverse workforce more effectively, then you definitely want to come to Shift. And if you're looking for work in your field or changing career, you also want to look to Shift. You can always contact me on Marie@shiftmanagement.com. So that's Marie@shiftmanagement.com. You can also contact me at Shift Workplace by Twitter, and you can also contact me by going to the website. If you're on the website now, you already know what that is, but if you aren't, it's shiftworkplace.com. So you can always look for Shift Workplace and you will find lots of good stuff. Today, what I want to talk to you about is the issue of not pissing off recruiters. Okay, so if you are looking for a job right now and you are looking to career change, or you have a recruiter who's working for you, maybe you also are working with a job find organization or an immigrant serving organization, or maybe you're working with a coach, and maybe you're also speaking to somebody in HR. All of those things are things where you have somebody working to help you find work. Now, if someone is working to help you find work, then you want to do your part and work with them. If you work against them, it's not going to go too well for you. Here's what you want to do to not make them mad. First off, make sure that you are actually using a professional email. A professional email has your name in it, and it doesn't have a whole bunch of stupid stuff in it that's going to make people wonder what the heck you're doing. Okay, so you don't want to have an email that has, hot cheeks or something in it. You want an email that has your name in it. I keep saying this over and over again because 75% of the emails I get from people are not professional. And if they're looking for work, it's not going to do them much good. You need a special email that has your name in it that you use for professional purposes, okay? And the same thing with your phone. Make sure you set up your phone to have a message answering service, and that it says on it that you will return calls within a certain amount of time, and that it's professional and courteous, and that it has a good tone of voice. And if somebody phones you on your phone, make sure that you answer it as if you were a receptionist at a company. So you answer it and you say, "Hello, Marie speaking," or "Hello, this is Marie," or whatever your name is. I'm just using me as an example. Okay. Because lots of times people answer the phone and they don't sound courteous. They sound like, they were like watching TV, or they just got up or something, and they don't sound professional. And so if you are looking for work, you want to make sure that you sound professional. And a good way to do that is to answer by saying your name and sounding like you're interested in speaking to that person who's on the other line. That's really important. I know I keep harping on those two things, but because so many people do not do them, if you do, you will stand out because you're going to look like a professional person that people will want to hire. And it doesn't matter if you are applying for an entry-level job position somewhere, or you're applying to be, the prime minister or president of some big company. It's the courtesy and how you make the other person feel on the other end that is very important. Okay, so back to things you should not do. You don't expect the recruiter to do your resume for you, write cover letters for you, and to just find work while you sit back and do nothing. So it's a partnership. And so the recruiter needs to know some stuff about you. And if they don't know anything about you, what you want, what you're looking for, they can't help you find work. Now, people often mistake recruiters as being like HR generalists, but recruiters are salespeople, and they only get paid when you find a job. They get paid after you find work. They don't get paid beforehand. So if you aren't giving them the things that are going to help them find work for you, and they're very motivated to find that work, then they can't help you. The recruiter's on your side, and so are all the other people that are working for you. So make sure you treat them kindly with courtesy, and that you say to those people, what do I need to do to make sure this partnership is going to work really well? So, and we're getting to that, what you're going to need to do. But here's the things still you should not do. Okay, so you don't walk in and go, "You know what? I need work. Find me a job." Who likes that? Would you like it if someone said that to you? Assuming that you were in a position to give them a job, you'd probably just say, "Go away." You sort of like, "Ew, get away from me. What's the, how come you're telling me that?" Another thing you should totally get out of your vocabulary is, "I'll do anything." That is terrible. You will never find work if you say, "I'll do anything." You have to be specific. If you're looking for a janitorial position, you're going to go, "I am looking for a position where I would be cleaning large buildings during the day." Okay, that's good, because then that gives somebody an idea of what you're looking for. "I'm looking for something where I can practice my good organizational skills and project management." See, this is awesome. You can help people to figure out what they need so that they can help you find work. Don't say your name really fast and then expect people to remember it. "Hi, my name is Rachel." Then they have to ask you to repeat your name, And if it's a name they're not used to, or if they're not used to your accent yet because they just met you, then they might be, having to ask you to repeat, and then you get annoyed. This is not good. You can avoid all that scenario if you just say your name slowly and carefully. And the same thing if you're leaving a voice message. My sister used to work for recruiting, and she would have people leave her these really weird voice messages on her office phone. They would say things like, "Hello, Nelda." That's her name. Her name's Nelda. "Hello, Nelda. Call me back. Why you don't call me back?" Nothing else, no name, no phone number, assuming that it's as if she were on a cell phone and she has call display and she's just ignoring them. You know what? It's her office phone. She has other stuff to do and other people are calling her, and she doesn't have call display, or if she does, she can't retrieve it afterwards. So do everybody a favor and slowly and carefully say your name, say your phone number slowly, repeat it twice, and just think, that other person needs to have a little process time to figure out what I'm asking them for. And if you do that, things are going to go so much better for you. And it's only a small thing. Your resume, make sure you're sharing information, necessary information with your recruiter that they're going to need so that they can find you stuff. So if you hide things, if you act too private and you won't let them know what kind of salary you want or what your work history is like, how are they supposed to do their job? They can't do it. It's like working with nothing. So let me give you an example I'm working on getting a new website set up. And with the web designer, she said to me, find me like 5 to 10 websites you like, and then tell me what you like about them. So I did that. And then she came up with a design. Perfect. The first design she did was perfect. It was exactly what I wanted. But if she would have come up with a design, I go, not that, not that, not that. We would in like 3 months with still no design. So you have to do your side. So if you're not willing to do your share and you act like the other person should do everything for you, people hate that. They feel like they're being walked all over. So yeah, consider the fact that they're in service for you, and you need to be grateful and appreciative and courteous for them. A couple of other things, that people do that really get on recruiters' nerves is they have no intention of going for an interview for a job because they already decided when the recruiter found them a job that they don't want it. But instead of telling the recruiter, "Oh, you know what, I don't want that job," this is what they do. Instead, they go, "Okay, great, thanks." And then when they have the interview, they don't show up. First off, it makes the recruiter really mad. Secondly, it makes the employer mad. Thirdly, both of them are going to blacklist you. Anyone they know, they're going to say, "Don't hire that person." And fourthly, you were dishonest with them. If you don't want the job and you're not going to go for the interview, say you're not going to take it because it's not what you're looking for. But on the other hand, don't turn down everything. If they give you 10 choices and you're turned down 10 choices, that is so frustrating. Okay, you might turn down 1 or 2, but you don't turn down everything the recruiter's finding for you. And if the recruiter is finding you stuff and it's not working for you, it's either that you didn't give specific enough information, or maybe this recruiter is just not a good fit for you in your industry, in which case you say goodbye courteously and thank them. Maybe give them a thank you card. That's also very nice. And then find another recruiter. But you still always treat them like a mensch, like a good person, because that's what's going to come back to you afterwards. The other thing, final thing of what you should not do is not show up for work on the first day. So you get the job, the recruiter has helped you, you got the interview, you get offered the job, you go yes, and then you don't show up. Frustrating. Don't do that. Okay, if you don't want the job, don't say you're going to take it. You have to be there. Show up. The first impression you make is very important. Everything that you do, the first impression is really important. And your first day work is the biggest impression maker there is. So yeah, don't do that. Okay, now you know what not to do. I started already to talk about what you should do. And here's a few more specifics about what you should do. So make sure you have a professional email. Make sure that you do all the stuff that I told you to do already. And now we're going to go on to prepare your resume. So you need to prepare a general resume with stuff on it that gives your work history and what you're looking for and everything. And always look up the resume of the year. So go on Google and go, Google, resumes in Canada, 2017 trends. Or if you're in Azerbaijan, do the same thing. Look, whatever country you're in, you want to look for the trends for that year and see that you are using them in your resume. Then when you've got that ready, though, you have to assume that you will need to make that resume specific to whatever job you're applying for. So you definitely do that. Don't assume that the other recruiter is going to do it. Assume you will do it once they give you the information. Okay, so resume preparation, that's really important. Second thing you need to do is start looking for places you would like to work. You can go on the NOC Index and OC if you're in Canada, NOC 2016. That's where they did most of the updates, and find out stuff about your job, find some companies, look them up, And in those companies, you're going to see, where might you like to work, what's good about the company, find out a whole bunch of stuff about the company, what they sell, what they do, what services they offer, how long they've been in existence. Look up the CEO on LinkedIn and just do a Google search. Look up anybody from the C-level suite that's on the website and, find out some stuff about them. And then you have a lot of ammo. You have a lot of stuff that you can use to be able to do a good interview afterwards. And you can also tell the recruiter that of the 10 companies you looked for, there are 2 that in particular that you really would like to work for. And the recruiter can see if they can get you an in into that company. You also have to do your end of the work and see if you can connect to people working in that company through LinkedIn and through other social media like Facebook or maybe Twitter or Instagram. See if you can find other people that work at that company and see if you can connect with them and find out something about the company and see maybe if that person can connect you. Now, if you get the connection and the recruiter doesn't, you tell the recruiter that you got this connection. The recruiter can tell you what advice to do next, who else you can connect with if that one falls through. So you're working together with the recruiter. Make sure that once you find out who is going to be interviewing you, Google your recruiter, Google the person who's interviewing you, Google whoever's going to be in the interview with you, find out about their name, find out a little bit about them so that when you start the interview, you already feel like you know someone and it feels less strange. And then you also need to come prepared to do 4 things. The first thing is, after you know about the company as much as possible, the first thing is, what problems might they have that you can solve? Now, this is also where your recruiter will come in handy. You can talk to the recruiter and say, I think that this company has this kind of problem that I could probably solve. So, if you're an IT person, you can solve certain problems. If you're a project manager, you can solve certain problems. It depends on what your job is. If you're an engineer, you solve different kinds of problems. So whatever problems you could solve that might be helpful for that company. And the recruiter will say, oh, in this industry, people have said they often have this kind of a problem. And so then that gives you more insights on what you could do to solve the problem. So that's good. So what problem could you solve? How can you save them money? How can you make them money? How can you reduce their stress? How can you help them do something better that they're already doing, but you might have some insights on how to do it better? Reduce their stress, save them money, make them money, help them to do something better, solve a problem that they've got. Those are the 5 things that if you come prepared with answers to those questions and ready to listen to what they have to say if they ask you more questions in that area and you can answer them, awesome. It's beautiful. It's very nice. So here it is. You are working with a recruiter. The recruiter is working with you. When you work together, you're partners. You're working together to help you find a job. And when you find a job, you want to thank everybody that helped you. So send thank you cards and just make sure that they remember you with great fondness, that they like you, because the next time you need some help, they're going to be right there for you. They're going to go, oh, I remember what a nice guy you were, a nice girl you were. What a mensch you were. A mensch means what a good person you were. You did that good stuff and they want to keep you around because you're in their good book. In conclusion, everything that you do that promotes courtesy, likability, that shows your skill, shows how you can solve problems for the company, and shows that you've done the research and that you've put your share of work into it is just going to make things work beautifully for you. You can do all of those things and then you won't need to worry anymore about pissing off the recruiter or the HR person or anybody else that is in the business of helping you find work. Okay, I hope you found that awesome and useful. And do check out our webinars because we have some pretty good ones. There's some you might like to register for coming up. There's some that we've already done that you might like to look at. And then there are also some Ask Marie posts and some blog posts. So check it out, get on the lists, and keep your professional learning happening. Okay, this is Marie Gervais signing off with Shift Management. Bye.